So, how did the whole debacle with the healthcare system even start?
It's the government, from my perspective, feeling like um, they have to protect you and me from ourselves. It's oh, I'm protecting you. Oftentimes tyranny is cloaked in I'm just protecting you and doing this in your best interest, right? And so all these federal regulations, many of which happened in, I think it was 1972 with the HMO Act, which kind of codified our current healthcare system. Um, there's some websites like WTF 1972, I think it is, and it's this website showing all these graphs. Have you never seen this website?
No, no.
It's either 1972 or 1971 or something like that.
Okay,
But it's
I'll have
like
to link it in the show notes.
it is all of these graphs that show the total chaos that happened in this one year. So
Huh.
obesity went crazy wild starting in 1972.
And this was like when the demonization of like fats and like the
Demonization
Right.
of fats,
sugars, like sugar's okay, you know, all the
the
processed
mass
junk.
production of seed oils,
Wow.
the depegging of the dollar against gold.
Wow.
Like all of these things happened within like an 18-month period.
Wow, that's
and
crazy.
and our healthcare expenses until the early 1970s were flat. I know my brother, who is 10 years older than me, he's in his I guess late 50s. My mom has like a receipt from the hospital that his birth was like $72 or something like that. I mean, it was like nothing, right? And now births are on average like $17,000, right? And so all this stuff happened in 1972, but it was the continual government interference in our day-to-day lives, I believe, that caused a lot of this stuff. Government regulation, those types of things that I think caused the vast majority of this. And I don't know if intentions were good or bad. I mean, it's hard to tell, but um, that's what started it. It was 1970s. Just real quick, like one of those graphs was the rate of diabetes in our country from the 1970s to now. So the last 50 years has gone from 1% to 10%. And the vast majority of those are type 2. Like the increase, type 1 diabetes is basically flat for the last 50 years. Type 2 diabetes, which is nutritional,
Yep.
you're eating crap,
Yep.
in essence, it went skyrocketed. And so that's just one example of obesity. Is it looks like the same thing. So go check out that website. It's pretty interesting.
Dude, and it's also like just this it's a sick twisted system of the pharmaceutical industries and the healthcare industries, sick care.
Yeah.
It's like you get sick and then they make you go on these drugs and then
Right.
you're back to doctor's visits and then you're back to something else is wrong and so you're back on these drugs. So it's this constant like whirlwind.
Totally.
And I'm always thinking is like what are the steps that we need to take as a society? And one, I think awareness is the biggest thing, but it's like, okay, after we cultivate this awareness, it's like, what are the next steps that we need to take in order to kind of do something about this?
Yeah. I think it's a great point. I mean, again, I call it the medical industrial complex, and I put three kind of components of there: pharma, hospitals, and health insurance companies. And all three of these organizations, or these types of organizations, make more money if you're sick. So pharma, clearly, if you're sick, they make more money. They give you more drugs. They load you with all kinds of good stuff. Hospitals, clearly, if you're sick, you're going to the hospital more. They make more money. Health insurance plans, few people know it, but like the sicker you are, the more money they make over an intermediate period of time, and because they are maxed out at the amount of profit they can get from you. So if you pay, let's just make the math easy, $1,000 in premiums, they max out at $150 in profits. It's a regulation. And so these are for-profit companies. So how do they grow their profit by 10%? Well, how do they get from $150 in essence to $165? Well, your premium has to go from $1,000 to $1,100, right? Up 10%. So they're actually incentivized for you to be sick, so premiums can go up, so they can make more money. That's the craziness of this system, and so you've got to get out of that system.